In this video, I'm going to show you how we go from finding an issue, such as this one, to creating a fully formed quick link of this sort. So in this case, this is quite a good example since it involves a word which student writers in English often find a bit tricky, extent. It's one of these words which comes up quite a lot, but nobody's exactly sure how to use it. So what we've got here is students written indicate their variability extents, but that's not right. And I found quite a number of examples in the Bohr corpus which can show you how it is used, and they look a bit like this. So these are hopefully can help the student who wrote the original sentence essentially correct it so that it's a correct use of extent. But how do you get from here to here? That's the question. And sorry, the other point of making this is to show you can do it without knowing complex query language, which often is a bit daunting. To start off with, obviously you need to be logged in to Sketch Engine. That's a necessity to create these quick links. And you go to the British Academic Written English corpus by selecting your corpus. And you'll note when you're logged in that this symbol will show, and that's a way of getting a link to a particular place. So in this case, what was the issue? So we've got their variability extents. I know that's wrong. And start off by doing a very simple search for extent. One important thing to remember when you're doing this search, or quite important, is because this is a word which a lot of writers whose first language isn't English find tricky, it's better to just confine it to those who identify as having English as their first language. And it can save a bit of time on filtering later. So we get quite a large number of hits here. So at this stage, I can then look at some of the most common collocates. The one I'm interested in, it depends how you sort the scores, and I know I can find it by doing it here. I'm interested in the extent of. I can just choose that one. Okay, what I'm also interested in is where there's a verb before it as well, so it's as similar as possible to the original sentence. So what I will do here is do a further filtering to look for verbs that occur in this kind of area. And the way I can do that is, instead of doing words, I do a tag search on collocates, and I will confine it to here. It's -3 to -1. That should do it. That should be okay. At this stage, I'll find that I can then choose the verbs. VV means lexical verb. Those are the kind of verbs that I'm interested in. So I can click these forms. I'm not really bothered about any particular tense or form. VVN is the third form, past participle. That'll probably do. Oh, those have past tense. There's only 3 of them. So when we just click on selected, those which are selected, and we should get a nice selection of verbs here. Obviously, not all of them will be right, and 72 lines is far too many. So I could just get a random sample at this stage, save a little bit of time. This won't give us exactly the same results as I showed you originally. I've got about 20, which is probably too many anyway, so I can just get rid of the ones which I don't think are relevant. So when I'm happy, I've chosen the ones which I want, I can then get rid of the other ones. At this stage, have a quick look at the extent of, I've chosen the ones which I'm quite happy with, and then all I need to do at this stage is click on here. If you just click on create link, you'll get a random code. If you give it a name, it makes it a bit easier to find later. There we go, and then I can copy and close it and add it into the work, or maybe add it as a comment, imagining this is somebody's essay. And there you go. Clearly, just doing this on its own isn't going to be enough. We'll want to make sure, first of all, that the student who I'm giving this to has got some idea of what a corpus is and what they can find from it. In this case, it was somebody who I knew knows about corpora and has used Quicklinks before. And then you might want to check that they've actually been able to benefit from this too.